How I Turned My So-Called Failure into Freedom. 100% Life Transformation by Positive Thinking. To the wild clapping and overwhelming admiration of all observers, a child can stand up for the first time, take a step forward, and then fall onto their tummy. In other words, in children, failed attempts are both common and celebrated. Adults, on the other hand, are confronted with the reality of the consequence of failure. When you're aware either inwardly or externally of the grief, suffering, and even wasted resources that an imperfect attempt might cause, it's more difficult to accept failure. And, based on my own experience, I can say that avoiding failure can often lead to missed opportunities for success. And in today's video, I'll tell you about how I have turned my so-called failure into freedom with positive thinking. But before we get started with the video, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you do not miss my latest videos. Failure is an unavoidable reality. When the sun is shining, the to-do list is short, and the kids are happy, freedom comes naturally. But how do we accept freedom when our souls, or our parenting, aren't doing so well? How can we get past failures of all kinds in the way we love one another, in the words, thoughts, and acts we choose? So, let me explain some ways that helped me to turn my failure into freedom. 1. Changing your perspective on failure. Failure is frequently viewed as a final outcome. However, seeing things in a more scientific light, I think sometimes failure can be beneficial. Failure is usually regarded in science as merely a stepping stone toward a higher objective. It establishes that something wasn't the answer, allowing you to move on to other possibilities. 2. Failure can be beautiful. When we begin to see failure in a different light, we may begin to see what a fantastic opportunity it represents. Sure, after we've ultimately succeeded or achieved our goal, it's simple to look back and smile at our failures. But can you laugh at your own failure as you go through it? When we fail, I'm not saying that we jump for pleasure, but we may practice thankfulness, tolerance, and compassion with ourselves. We may find small doses of joy in tapping into our resilience, appreciating what we've learned, and what we're capable of as a result of doing so. Failure can force you to concentrate on the path you're on. Instead of thinking you're on your way to tragedy, you might take stock and observe that everything is well. All you have to do now is raise your head, gaze forward, and keep going. 3. Failure adds flavor. Consider the most inspiring talks you've ever heard. What is it about them that is so appealing and compelling? Failure. Failure is a flavor that appeals to a wide range of tastes. Why? Because it exemplifies a wide range of ideals that we admire. It takes strength, resilience, vulnerability, wisdom, and self-awareness to face failure and keep going. This holds true for you as well. It's almost strange, demoralizing, and dissatisfying to achieve a goal with no effort, no difficulties, problems, or hardship. It appears to seem so much more gratifying, satisfactory, and fulfilling when you can look back and see how much you overcame to get to where you are, whether it's because of your egos or just our nature. If life is a delicious dish that we're working our way through, failure is that extra special spice or sauce that elevates the whole meal. In short, failure can enhance the value and significance of the experience you're enjoying. For failure doesn't have to always lead to success. The majority of failure quotations imply that failing is only acceptable when it brings you closer to success. This perspective, I believe, is a contributing factor to the problem. Accept the reality that you don't have to be particularly brilliant at something to enjoy it, learn from it, or develop from it. Why don't we encourage parents to expand their horizons by trying new things? Children can attend space camps, rock climbing, and painting workshops. They get to try all of these things for a short period of time with the sole purpose of making them more well-rounded individuals. Why does this suddenly come to an end when we reach adulthood? We need to think about this alarming question. 5. Failure reminds you to enjoy the ride. Failure can serve as a reminder that you're still learning, growing, evolving, and changing. We may become blind to everything we're experiencing and learning along the way if we're just focused on succeeding. It's like having tunnel vision, where all you can see is the endpoint, and you can't seem to pause to appreciate the scenery. However, this should not be the case when it comes to failure. When you fail, you have the opportunity to take a breath, look around, and reflect on the path you've traveled and the decisions you've made. It forces us to become more self aware and assimilate lessons, ideals, and observations that we may then carry on with us. In some ways, failure may open the door to our most profound insights if we approach it with the right mindset. 6. Failure doesn't really exist. There is no such thing as failure. What do you mean when you say failure? In simple words, if you don't receive what you want or if you don't get the approval of others, you consider it a failure. However, if you are doing what you love out of passion rather than necessity, the travel and labor themselves will bring you happiness. The point is that you never fail, all you have to do is show up. You may then go through several outcomes, but they are all equal because each one has its own value. And, with that being said, it's a wrap for this video. So, are you now ready to turn your failure into freedom? Let me know in the comments section below. And, if you learned something new today, please like and share this video with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, so you do not miss my upcoming videos. I will see you soon in the next video. Take care.